Welcome back, friends. We are now at the third door. Blessed are the meek, strong hearts formed by humility. Jesus says, Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Meekness is often misunderstood. It is not weakness or passivity. In the gospel, meekness is strength that comes from humility and trust in God. Jacques Philippe explains that meekness grows directly from poverty of spirit. When we no longer try to be our own source of worth, we stop needing to dominate, control, or defend ourselves. Poverty of spirit means receiving everything from God as gift, not as possession. When we accept that, the heart becomes peaceful, and from that peace comes meekness. Philippe draws on St. Therese of Lisieux. She says true littleness is not taking ownership of God's gifts, but recognizing they are His. Our goodness is not our property, it is grace. When this sinks in, pride and comparison lose their power. We do not have to prove ourselves. We simply belong to God. Jesus gives us the key when he says, Learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart. The Catechism teaches that the Beatitudes reveal the heart of Christ and invite us into his disposition. Section 1717. Meekness, then, is sharing the inner life of Jesus. It is not something we manufacture. It is the fruit of knowing we are loved. Philippe warns of a danger. We can use even spiritual gifts to build up the ego. We begin to seek admiration rather than God. Meekness entangles this knot. Our value does not come from self-affirmation. It comes from being sons and daughters of the Father. The only real riches are His love and His word to us. All that is mine is yours. Meekness is urgently needed now. Our culture confuses loudness with strength. Philippe reminds us that God communicates himself most easily to the humble and poor in spirit. When the heart is emptied of pride, there is space for God and for others. Ask Jesus to share with you his meek and humble heart. When irritation or defensiveness rises, bring that moment into prayer and let him stand with you in it. And perhaps one action item to consider. Identify one situation where you usually react sharply. Before it happens, pray, Jesus, you are my security. I receive everything from you. Then in the moment, choose gentler words.
Yeah, that is, I was thinking too that, we often forget that God is a God of wrath and that one day there will be just punishment for all of the things that we have done that are evil. And yet, meekness is going to cover a multitude of those sins.
Well,
And he tells us that, if you are meek, you will inherit the earth, right? And what does that mean? Well, we don't know exactly, but it does mean that we're not going to be punished. Right?
no, we know that. We
Right?
get
Because
that.
meekness,
At
right?
least that.
Right?
We got at
Because,
least that.
right, meekness turns away wrath, and
Right.
that's really like your point for pondering. The one where you're trying to put something into action is so profoundly important, right? Because oftentimes that attitude of self-righteousness or the desire to have things your way is a rebellious spirit within us, right? Nobody's going to thwart me. You're not going to get away with that. The car who cuts you off in the parking lot or whatever, any of those things where the initial reaction is to lash out. Everyone knows that anger builds upon anger and it just flames the fire of wrath, right? It just rises. And the only thing that can temper that is that sweet meekness of spirit that yields not because it's weak, but because it's in control of its own appetite, right? The appetite wants to rage, but that meekness binds it and brings a peace not only to the exterior situation, but an interior centering, right? That takes the focus off of what you think you deserve to recognizing again what it is that you have. And that's a really important thing to remember, that you already have much. You know,
Oh,
from those first two beatitudes,
yeah.
the whole kingdom of God is at your disposal, right? Everything is yours. All that it requires of you is a humility, a meekness before it for you to be able to obtain it.
That's right. That's right. So once the heart becomes meek, a new desire awakens. It begins to hunger for what is right in God's eyes. So next time we're going to enter the door of a blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Till then, my friends, fides, Sriracha.